everyone. Every time we take some of the other practical implementation. So here we will be taking like AI powered fraud detection in financial transactions. So let us go into the world of, like, these days fraud detection is playing a major role. And if you are aware of like machine learning algorithm, you can apply in your day to day life and you can process accordingly, right? So AI as the backbone. So every practical implementation, every intelligence, every computational intelligence can be applied for any type of application which you want to, right? Which our user want to. So for that reason, this today we have taken the fraud detection in the financial transaction. So it's a very interesting, and it is creating a revolution in every case, right? So fraud is growing. The concern for every financial institutions costing billion and billion, and traditionally methods are struggling to keep up. Like, we cannot keep up the mark. So AI offers a powerful solutions, and we can explore how one major financial institution successfully implemented AI to combat fraud. So by the end of this presentation, you will have a clear concept of challenges, the role of AI, and tangible benefits it brings to fraud detection. So AI, which is really playing a greater role in our, like we can say that, in our practical life, in the real time analysis. So for that reason, we are giving importance to this, right? So here you can see there is an interesting diagram, that is fraud detection. Like, first is the identify relationship, then customer approval patterns, post failure, and then analysis. So data warehousing you are seeing over here, creation of association rule, if else analyzing pattern, because see, we have to recognize the pattern to make the decision whether the thing which you are applying is correct or not. That is the technique behind which we are into the world of security, where you have to measure that if you are deciding this, then what will be the pros and cons, and if you are going to this method, then what will be the benefits, right? Because we have to see that the efficiency should be more, the effectiveness should be more, and the loss should be less. So the overview in the financial transaction is that the types of fraud which is taking place, right? So in that case, if you are saying, then this is a very significant problem, and it not only results in millions of dollars in losses annually, but also taking away the customer trust. The frauders are these days increasing day by day. So this is becoming increasingly sophisticated, using advanced technique to bypass the traditional detection systems. So this slide highlights the scale of problems and why it's crucial for financial institutions to adopt more advanced methods like AI to stay ahead of these threats. So if AI is applicable in case of financial transaction, that means we are getting more and more benefit, and this will reduce the challenges which we are facing every day. Every user is facing, right? We are getting SMS, that is also fraud. If you are clicking to some link, that is also fraud. So we have to be like very much cautious. So for that reason, we have to apply some of the other algorithm, so that the time consumption of thinking will be less, rather than or decreasing the frauders in the real time application will be like very much easier if you are applying AI algorithm. So lot of research are going on, and we think that by 5 to 10 years we will be getting the best solutions. If we are doing some or the other research, then only we will be getting the solution. Otherwise, the same challenges will be there, right? So the challenges in traditional fraud detection, because if you are not aware of disadvantage, no, how you will write an algorithm. What are the real time things? You have to first jot it down. Then only you can decide and write the algorithm which will be really applicable in the real time analysis, for which you have to recognize the pattern. So traditional fraud detection system rely heavily on rule based algorithm, right? While these rules can catch the fraud patterns, and they struggle with new or evolving schemes. So additionally, these systems often require minimal intervention, which can lead to delays in detection and response. So that is the thing, you have to think manually, right? Here there is a manually intervention which is required for delayed detection and response. So with the sheer volumes, right, of the transaction happening every second, human analysts simply can't keep up. So this slide outlines limitation of traditional method and set the stage for why AI is needed, why we are taking the help of AI, why intelligence is applied, and why we are making the machine learn, right? So those are the things we have to think. We have to think about the patterns, we have to decide accordingly, then only AI will be applicable. Otherwise, you will not take the benefit of AI. So the rules of fraud detection. Now, what is the role of AI in case of fraud detection? As I told that every time you have to sit with the pen, pencil, paper, you have to jot it down. What are the things going on, right? Every time when you open the newspaper, you will find some of the other frauds are going on. Okay, so there must be some column where you will find that the fraud is written. Today, somebody took this money from the ATM. Today, somebody's phone was hacked. Okay, so many things are there. So the case study, the analysis, the work which we do on the basis of the pattern which the frauders follow. Then only we can write AI algorithm and then we can apply it. So there is where AI comes into the picture. So AI algorithm can analyze the massive amounts of transaction data in the real-time analysis, sometimes that impossible for humans or traditional system to identify. So those identification can be done by AI. First, machine learning model is a subset of AI. Now it can adapt, as I told that we can make the machine learn. So machine learning algorithm can adapt and improve over time, reducing false positive and identifying new patterns of fraud. Okay, so AI can detect anomalies. That is also one of the algorithm process that might indicate fraudulent behavior, making it powerful tool for financial institutions. So wherever we can apply AI, those analytical work we can consider, we can do some amount of research, and that can be told as case study. Right. So case study is also very much important because without a case study, you cannot go for implementation. Okay. So case study means what? Research study, analytical study, going through the depth of a work. Right. So it's place and measure financial institution, they take into consideration the case study with the rising fraud rates and if inefficient detection methods. So their goal is what? To enhance the speed and accuracy of the fraud detection and inefficient detection methods. So there what happens? We have to identify the fraud detection and we have to minimize the false alerts. So they decide to implement AI powered solution and they achieve a good result. So that's what we took the help of AI for the implementation in every aspect. So that is the thing, implementation of AI solution. Here the financial institution is partnered with like technology firm which is having a specialization in AI solution, right? So together they deploy a machine learning model, train them with the help of historical data because the raw data they have they need to be trained with the help of doing some analytical work with the help of the historical data. Because the historical data is every time is having some of the other patterns which will be really helpful for the analytical work of the raw data. Right. So this model was designed to learn from the past fraud cases, because we have to recognize the pattern, right? For which we have to take the past cases so that the analysis for the new work can be adapted and new pattern can be recognized, and we have to find the similarity and then move forward. So continuous learning mechanism was integrated, allowing the system to evolve as fraudsters changed their tactics. So every time if the fraudsters take the same concept, no, they will be caught. But they are very much smart, they play intellectually. They always change their patterns. But some of the other way, the pattern matches. That we have to catch that, and then we can write the algorithm accordingly. Okay, so this slide gives us the importance of collaboration between the financial institutions and tech firms in implementing AI solutions. Okay, so recognizing the pattern is very much important, and we have to compare with the historical data which are already available with us. So the data collection and the preparation. So in this case, what happens? The data is the backbone. As I told that big data. Big data means what? The big data is having lot many of data, and because of that deep learning came to the picture. Deep learning is the subset of machine learning, right? So that data is the backbone of AI, because that is the oil. Data is the oil. Otherwise, how we will be analyzing it? What is the resource? The resource is the data. Data is the oil. Information is the oil, right? Without which we cannot do any work. So data is the backbone of our AI system, and the institution collects the data from various sources, including the transaction logs, because we are talking about the fraud detection in the financial institutions, right? So we have to see the transaction logs and the user behavior. However, the raw data is over messy, so data cleaning and the pre-processing were crucial steps. So the data set included both legislative transaction and the confirmed fraudulent cases, which allowed the model to learn the difference between the two. So this slide emphasizes the importance of high quality data in training effective AI model. See, every word, every keyword is very much important. As I told, many words like pre-processing of data, data cleaning. What does this meaning? Like data cleaning means we have to clean the missing data set, the data set which are repeatedly available. All those data set we have to remove it before processing the model. So model training and validation. So see what are the things and how all the slides are connected. So once the data is the backbone of AI, so we have to train those data also, right? So for which we have to consider the model training and the validation. Validity is also important. Who is giving the validation? Okay. So how the data will be trained? These are the things which are questionable. So once the data was prepared, the AI model undergo rigorous trainings using supervised learning techniques. So the AI is divided into supervised and unsupervised technique. So here the process which we are taking into consideration, that is supervised learning technique, and which is applying for our model so that the data can be trained. So the model was trained to recognize the pattern associated with the fraud. So validation matrices like precision, recall, F1 score were used to assess its effectiveness. As I told, effectiveness and efficiency are the two keywords which are very important, which play an important role in the AI. So ongoing testing ensured that the model remained effective against evolving fraud tactics. So this slide highlights the importance of continuous validation and testing in maintaining an effective fraud detection system. That's what we have to every time think, that what is the importance and where is the application, and where we are, which algorithm we are applying, right? And what is the steps? So here the steps which are included are precision, recall and F1 score, right? For the validation matrices. So let us go to the real-time monitoring alert, because monitoring also important and we need some alerts also, right? If the fraud is going on, there should be some message coming to your mobile through your app, so that you will be alert that this thing is happening and immediately you can take some steps. So for that reasons, monitoring also is important. Some or the other way, somebody should be there to monitor, right? Otherwise, how we will come to know? So cybersecurity cell is playing an important role in this case. Okay, that is another part. But for everything, we have to take some real-time application. We have to think that who is detecting us, who is monitoring us, who is alerting us, right? That is cybersecurity cell. Okay, they are very much trained for this. So once the key benefit of AI is its ability to monitor the transaction in the real time, the system could instantly flag suspicious activities and generates alert for immediate investigation. So this proactive approach significantly reduces the time taken to respond to threats, minimizing potential losses. So this slide shows how real-time monitoring can be a game changer, because every time there should be some inspection, there should be some messages, so that it can sensitize everyone. Okay, so these are the things which are really important, and it plays an important role, so that the output which will be achieved, the result which will be achieved through this will be beneficial to everyone. So the results were very impressive after applying AI. So within the first year, the institution reported a 30% reduction in fraud losses. So the false positive rates also decreased, which improved the user experience by reducing unnecessary alerts. So additionally, what happens after allowing AI, the AI system ability learns from new data, improved overall detection rate. So this slide demonstrates the tangible benefits of AI powered fraud detection. So these are the things. See, 30% reduction in fraud losses. This is very great result. Okay. If you are getting 1% also, no, that also seems that we are improving. So impact on operational efficiency. So automatic the fraud detection processes freed up human analytics to focus on more complex cases. So this not only improved the operational times for you can say that for customer satisfaction, for customer transaction. This also highlights to optimize operational cost, and most powerful term, that is improvement in efficiency. So the future enhancement and scalability, in that case we have to see the customer satisfaction. We have to always achieve the trust and the loyalty, right? So in case of future enhancement and scalability, looking ahead, the institution plans to integrate additional AI technologies such as NLP, as NLP is coming to the world to further enhance the fraud detection. So scalability features will allow the system to handle increasing transaction values, right? So we have to be very scalable. So continuous feedback loop, which ensures the model adapt to emerging fraud techniques. So output is connected to input, that is feed-forward network, which is applicable in this case, and wherever alert will be there, that will be indicated. So it highlights the planning for the future enhancement and scalability. which is very much applicable in the real world. So here we are taking the application as NLP. So NLP can be improved with LLM. If you are just changing it to LLM, then we can go for the generative AI. That is another important world, or we can say we will be going to the next world, right? And by 2030, everything will be captured with the help of generative AI. So the hands-on will be on machine learning technique and can detect the fraudulent, that is the financial transaction, and how can a real-time fraud alert system can be implemented. So in this case, what happens? We will be exploring the real-time, that is machine learning, supervised, unsupervised reinforcement learning, and how it will be applied to the fraud detection, right? So here the fraud detection, like we will be including credit card fraud, identify threat, and money laundering. So these are the things, and we have to recognize the pattern, and accordingly we have to write one algorithm, and we have to do the analytical work. So here the types of machine learning which we are taking into consideration, that is supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning, right? So in this case, we have to find with the trial and error method, and we have to apply those, and then we have to find the pattern, and accordingly we have to work. The supervised learning for fraud detection will be like it was labeled dataset to train the model on known fraud basis and non-fraud transactions. So the algorithm like logistic regression, decision trees, and support vector machine, that is SVM, are very much commonly used. So this you have to remember that in this case we are utilizing logistic regression, decision tree, and SVM, that is support vector machine. In case of unsupervised learning, we are not aware of the labeled data, but we have to find out, we have to segregate the data in terms of clusters, and we have to apply clustering algorithm like K-means to identify the outliner transaction data. So here we can apply KNN. NN means neighborhood. Okay. So here between the two nodes, we have to find the distance. We have to calculate with the help of Pythagoras theorem, and then we can apply it. That is a simple word I told, Pythagoras theorem. We have to apply it to find out the shortest path. So future of engineering, that is selection over here, that is feature engineering, that is the process of selecting and transforming variables that are most relevant to the problem at the end. That is, the simple word is that we have to recognize the pattern, right? Then only we can train the machine, and then it can recognize it. So real-time fraud detection system, in this case, the implementing real-time fraud detection system is essential for minimizing the losses. So machine learning model can analyze the transaction data instantly, flagging suspicious activities as they occur. So in this slide, real-time system work, and they plays an important role. They play it effectively and reduce the fraud. So the challenges of the fraud detection, as despite of the advantage, there are many challenges, because every advantage is having some of the other disadvantage. That is, data quality and availability are the two things which are very much crucial, right? These are the two challenges which everyone is facing, right? So for that reason, lot of case studies are going on for successful implementation. So companies like PayPal and American Express have successfully implemented machine learning for fraud detection. So this organization have reported significant reduction in the fraud losses by leveraging advanced technique, right? Because we have to implement it in case of real world. So the future trends in the fraud detection will be blockchain, and it may enhance transparency, and the transaction can be detected. Okay. So ongoing research in AI ethics and bias will inform better practices for developing fair models. These slides, like gives us the importance of AI and integration of AI and machine learning, we can say, and importance of blockchain, right? So as I told, the cyber security, so blockchain plays a very important role in case of cyber security. So here we are learning that AI and the continuous monitoring and updating of AI models is like a primary role and primary responsibility of every user to bring it a success. So there will be a collaboration between technology firms and the financial institution so that we can identify the frauds easily with the help of AI tools. That is the thing which we require to learn and we require to adjust it. So this is whole about the theoretical. Let us go to practical implementation. Give me a moment. I will. So let us go to this one. This is the thing which we need to know, before which as Python you have to, like we are running in Google Colab. So Google Colab is the notebook, right? So in case of notebook you have to first install many things, like install upgrade KFKA Python, then Confluent, install Fast API, then only you can write. Okay, then you have to import all these things. So import NumPy as NP, all these things you have to import, right? So every steps you have to write, otherwise it will not run. So you have to take care of this. Okay, so that is the thing. You have to first import NumPy, that is numerical analytical work. So that is NP, as NP you have to write. Then you have to go for pandas, also you can write import pandas as XP. Sorry, PD. You have to take into consideration as PD. So pandas as PD you have to write. But here as there is no requirement, for that reason we have left. So import NumPy as NP, that is used for numerical operation, mainly to create the process arrays. Then XGBoot as XGB, right? That is imports XGBoot, and optimized machine learning library, commonly used for classification task, right? Then we will go for sklearn. We will be going for sklearn, that is for like you can see sklearn dot pre-processing import standard scalar. That means what? It imports the standard scalars from sklearn to normalize the features. That is, there is a mean 0 and variance 1. Then you are doing import JSON. Okay, so import JSON means you use for serialized and deserialized JSON data from KF, as I told, KFKA messages. Okay, then import time, that is provides time related function used for time stamps. Then for fast API, import fast API HTTP exception, that is fast API is used to create an API service, that you have to understand, and HTTP exception, that is used for handling errors. Then comes from Confluent underscore KFKA import producers, that means what? Imports KFKAS producers to send fraud alerts to the topic. Okay, so these are the things you have to understand, then only you can install it. So first install, then import, then initialize Fast API. Fast API application, you have to think about it, because it is written that app is equal to Fast API and bracket. Okay, that is, it creates an instance of the fast API application which is used to define API routes. Then comes simulating model training without database. Okay, so class fraud detection model definition underscore initialization underscore self, right? So self model is equal to this. So that means what? Fraud detection model to handle the fraud detection. Self dot model is initialize an XGBoost, that is XGBoost classifier. So here you can see, okay, XGBoost classifier with n underscore estimators equal to 100. What does that means? Number of decision trees. Then max underscore depth is equal to 5. What does this means? Limits the depth of each tree to 5. That means it controls the complexity. Then you can go for learning underscore rate is equal to 0.1. What does that mean? That is, it controls how much model learns from each tree. Then you can go for self.scalar is equal to standard scalar bracket. So it creates a standard scalar instance to normalize the input data. Okay, then only we can train the data, training the model, right? So training the model, you can see over here, definition train model. As I was telling that we have to train the model, right? So x underscore train is equal to np.random.ren bracket 1000 comma 5. That means what? It generates 1000 cross 5 matrix with random values. That is simulating transactions goes on there. Then you can see y underscore train right here. Y underscore train. Just np.random to dot choice, that is 0 comma 1. Everything is having some of the other reason. Okay, what is the importance and why we are writing in this way? You have to understand that. So here it creates the target label when 98% are non-fraud, that is bracket 0, and 2% are fraud, that is 1. Okay, so you can see over here 98% fraud, non-fraud, sorry, 98% non-fraud and 2% fraud. Okay, so that is the thing which is written over here. So 0 and 1. Okay, so 0 is for non-fraud and 1 is for fraud. Then we can go for the scale, that is self scale dot fit x train. Okay, in that case we can say that it is training XGBoost model and it trains the confirmation once the training is done. Okay, so model is trained successfully when we will run this program. No, if we are getting this one, that means model is successfully run. Then we are going for making the prediction, that is self prediction and feature. See, so here that means it takes the input transaction, that is features, and scales it using the previous fitted standard scalar. So return will be what? It will be like 0 and 1. So 0 is for non-fraud and 1 will be for fraud. So that's why we are writing fraud underscore score. Okay, that is the thing which is written. So everything you have to understand, and then only you can see that how it takes place. Then we have to initialize the model and then we have to train it. Okay, so here again fraud detection feature, then fraud scores feature. So configuring KFKA, all these things we are taking, right? So we are executing the program and it will start from here. So it will start one by one. It will take little bit time. because installation also it will show. And see here it is connected to the server. When you will be connected to the Google Colab, then first of all you have to sign in with your email ID, right? Then this page will open. Then you can start writing with the help of this plus code, and you can start writing the programs. First we have to install everything, then only we need to import the libraries, then only we can start. So it takes time, and if the network is high, then it will give you the result immediately, otherwise it will take some time. See here, there is one more thing, that is it is connected to local host, that is 9092, and the client ID is fraud detector. This one you can think about, like it specify the local host and the client ID, that is fraud detector. Okay, so then we can go for at this code, that is app.post detect underscore fraud and asynchronous df detect underscore fraud. This can be like it creates a post API, okay, and takes the transaction as input. That is a dictionary containing the transaction details. You can see over here transaction dot dictionary. Dictionary is written over here like DICT. Okay, so this one is also important. Then validate the input format, right? Here you can transaction ID and features. Check the transaction that we can take, and HTTP is taken as 400, right? Then features np.array. This one you can say the prediction is 1, that is the fraud is 1 and non-fraud is 0. So probability of fraud you have to identify. Okay, so it rounded up to 4 decimals. So fraud underscore score is 4, that means it is rounded up to 4 decimals. Okay, then the transaction ID, that is ID of the transaction. Then timestamp means current timestamp. Then if the prediction is equal to 1, that means it sends the fraud alert to the Kafka topic. Okay, fraud underscore alerts, right? Then producer dot flush, that is ensures the message is immediately sent. Then we have to identify the result. So it returns to the JSON, and then we are getting the output, because output, if it is successfully, the model is trained successfully, then it is written that model trained successfully. Print, in case of print we wrote here. Okay, so the program is successful and we got the result, and this one will take some time. Okay, so this much for today. Thank you so much.